here again Monday, and we got some pretty significant storms over during the overnight. Lightning, lots of rain. I didn't hear any big thunder, though. Well, at least I didn't wake up to any. Normally, if you get one real loud, you'll wake up to it, but I didn't wake up in the middle of the night because of thunder. I did wake up to go to the restroom, and there was certainly a lightning show happening.
Yep. Heavy rain and some thunderstorms moved through the area overnight, so additional rainfall for a fairly wet weekend in some of the areas.
Should be done by now, though, right? I think we're good. Not going to get any more today?
Some isolated, but for the main threat is over.
All right.
Although there was so much rain over the weekend that flood watch remains in a bunch of counties until 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Lots to get to, as always. Sports and news and daily check-ins, bad news with happy music, the friggin' sports later on, extreme day tripping, some help in the bedroom when it comes to sleeping longer, some tips help you stay asleep longer if you're having trouble waking up during the middle of the night, those kind of things. Also got some Papa Roach and Rage Against the Machine in a couple of minutes, and of course, if you want to get in touch with us, there's lots of ways to do that. You can find all of our contact info online at rockmornings.com. You can also download either the free 95.7 The Rock app or the free 92.9 The X app. And you can submit voicemails, pictures, videos, all that through the apps.
Big weekend. Lots of stuff that went on.
Yeah. Obviously, we'll recap our weekends. I was up in the cities. Watching
football, baseball, oh my.
Some football, yeah. We'll get to that Papa Roach and Rage Against the Machine in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Another court appearance scheduled in La Crosse County later today for the suspect in a recent gas station robbery in Holman. William Brink appeared in court by video from jail last week, but the hearing disrupted when he apparently pushed the camera out of his room inside of the jail. Police located the 56-year-old Brink south of La Crosse 2 days after the August 7th holdup at the Holman BP station. He's from Melrose, scheduled to go before a judge last Friday, but was unavailable to appear for the hearing, and his case was rescheduled for today. Also been subpoenaed to appear in a Jackson County case where he faces a trial next year for strangling and stalking. Brink remains in the La Crosse County jail, bond at $20,000, so maybe later today we'll get some more information. The search continuing now for a wanted Minnesota man in Vernon County. According to updates from the Vernon County Sheriff, Nathan Randall Gossman has not yet been found. The town of Wheatland Dodge truck has also not been recovered that he stole. He stole a Dodge truck from the town of Wheatland. Last seen around 1 a.m. on Saturday morning, and municipal license plate is 94280. Vernon County Sheriff said they believe the truck may have been abandoned, not clear at this time. Residents in and around Redmond are asked to check and make sure their vehicles are secure. The sheriff also asking if anyone has camera footage that may help with the investigation.
I thought I heard something about that this weekend, yeah.
This was kind of interesting. A hunter that was scouting for deer, getting ready for the season, which is coming up.
Walking around looking.
Found a wood stork.
I don't know anything about that.
This was on Sunday in Columbia County, northeast of Madison. Wood storks are typically found in Gulf Coast states in Central and South America. So apparently he zigged when he should have zagged, and he ended up in Wisconsin. The wood stork, by the way, listed as threatened under the Federal Endangered Species Act. Experts say this stork likely visited Wisconsin after getting lost. They typically grow as long as 35 to 45 inches, wingspans reaching 5.5 feet. Heads and upper necks are covered with scaly gray skin rather than feathers. The only sound they can produce is a hissing sound. And this person was out there in the woods looking for deer and maybe a place to go hunting later on this year and ended up finding a rare subtropical bird, the wood stork.
Yeah, they took pictures, too. It's real deal. He was in the Mud Lake Wildlife Area in Columbia County, so a real remote section, and apparently took pictures, and they think it's a juvenile that was hatched this spring, so just a little baby.
So, yeah, maybe got lost, maybe was flying somewhere with mom and dad, or maybe some other birds, and took a left instead of a right.
Apparently.
Ended up in Wisconsin, like, what the hell is going on? Well, the weather here is,
It feels subtropical this summer.
It can. Yes. It certainly can.
Yeah.
Hurricane Aaron remaining a powerful Category 3 hurricane southeast of the Bahamas. It was a Category 1. Then I saw it got as high as 5 this weekend. Now it's back down to 3. 5 p.m. last night, update, maximum sustained winds holding steady at 125 miles per hour. Central pressure of 946 millibars. Aaron is currently located about 270 miles northwest of San Juan, Puerto Rico, moving to the west-northwest at about 13 miles per hour. Tropical storm warning in effect for the Turks and Caicos Islands and southeast Bahamas. Okay. The track forecast has remained virtually unchanged, calling for Aaron to turn north over the next couple of days before passing between the east coast of the U.S. and Bermuda, weakening over the last day or so due to an eye wall replacement cycle where the strong inner eye wall slowly weakens and is then replaced by a new, larger eye. National Hurricane Center says this cycle is likely finished, and given that environmental conditions remain favorable for intensification, strengthening is predicted with Hurricane Aaron making its way maybe Category 4 by sometime later today. We'll see. And last but not least, over the weekend, Terrence Stamp passing away at the age of 87. You might remember him. General Zod from Superman 2.
Neil before Zod.
Yeah, Neil before Zod. He's a British actor, known for his roles in Billy Budd, Superman, and The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. He was 87. Death on Sunday disclosed as in a death notice published online by the Associated Press. He leaves behind an extraordinary body of work, both as an actor and as a writer, that will continue to touch and inspire people for years to come. 6-decade career, nominated for an Oscar for his film debut in the 1962 movie Billy Budd, made a name for himself with such roles as General Zod in Superman and Superman 2. He was in The Collector, Far from the Madding Crowd. He just a whole bunch of other stuff. Dead at the age of 87, though.
Decorated career.
Very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Eyebrow?
No, very, unique look. Like, you would, he's not one of those guys where you're like, I kind of recognize it. Like, you're like, oh, yeah.
That's that guy.
Yeah, that's that guy. So, dead at the age of 87. Neil before Zod. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Was up in the cities on Saturday. Went to the Vikings-Patriots game, which was a Patriots win. That was good.
How's preseason up there?
It was okay.
Is it well attended?
Yeah, I mean, it was
at the bank.
Yeah, it wasn't packed to the gills. There were certainly plenty of empty seats, but it was still a good crowd.
Okay.
The hotel we stayed at was about a 15-minute walk to the venue. So we got to the hotel. It was early. It was about 10:15, and they were trying to check people out and check people in. And, of course, we weren't able to get in early because they had been booked solid on Friday night. So we got there Saturday at about 10:15. Tried to check into the hotel. That was a no-go. And so we were able to check our baggage and our luggage and stuff.
Can you leave this here for us?
And they, took care of it for us. So then we walked to the bank and, took some pictures outside. We didn't really spend much time outside. There was some pregame stuff going on. They've got a little area sort of over by the outdoor promenade area that they must have had some kind of drummers and food trucks,
promotions and giveaways,
stuff like that, radio stations and whatnot. But we just kind of went right in and walked around, saw some of the food vendors, and got ourselves a beer, found our seats, had pretty good seats, and then the pregame stuff starts. They had a bunch of they had like hundreds of these young girls that were obviously from like some cheerleading academy that they had that they obviously signed up for, paid to go to, and the Vikings cheerleaders were there, and so they brought them all out on the field as part of the pregame thing, and there's like hundreds of them, and they're running around, and it was hilarious. And then obviously they're going around, they're showing people on the camera, and they're cheering and going crazy on the big screen.
Yeah.
They did show off the new male. There's two of them, but there's a new guy, Blaze. He's making people on the internet angry. I didn't hear any boos from the crowd when they focused on him on the screen.
Viking cheerleader. Yeah.
The male Viking cheerleader that people are mad about on the internet. They've got a cool thing that we've never been to a game at the bank.
That's why I was wondering.
The only thing we went to was the Metallica show, so we've never gone up there for a football game. But, so at the beginning of the game, as they're getting ready to do the introductions and the kickoff and whatnot, and the coin toss, they've got a whole, video package, and they've got the boards and the lightning and everything, and it says, it's all Viking script, and it says, we come from the land of ice and snow, obviously the Zeppelin. And it actually snowed in the building. It was kind of neat.
Oh, that's cool.
They've got, they must make snow out of soap, I guess.
Fake stuff.
Yeah, and so, you're watching it on the screens, and you're thinking, your mind's playing a trick on you. Is it actually snowing? And you turn, and all of a sudden, there it is. You're getting snowed on. So there was one mom with a couple of kids. She's like, don't put your tongue out. That's soap. But yeah, it was good. And we had, some beers, and we had some food, and watched the game. And didn't have any problems. The only issue we had was when we walked from the hotel to the venue. This was after it had rained significantly, and so it was still kind of cool and kind of overcast. But when we left the game, it was hot and swassy and disgusting, and we're walking back to the hotel, and I'm dying because it's 90 degrees and it's 100% humidity. It's just brutal. So
all weekend long. What was that? 93% humidity when I woke up yesterday morning. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's something out there.
We got back to the hotel and I took a shower before we left and went and did anything else because it was just brutal. But yeah, we'll hear more about Gene's weekend. See what you're up to. Getting ready for your baby to go to school.
For the big move, yeah. I am working on that.
All right. Also got sports in just a bit. Right now, Papa Roach.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Killing in the Name from Rage Against the Machine. The streak has come to an end.
I know.
First pitch is by third. Reds win.
The Brewers' 14-game winning streak comes to a close.
Austin Hayes, a walk-off RBI single. They'll have to score it. The Reds score in the 9th to tie it and score in the 10th to win it 3-2.
A couple of extremely exciting games on Friday and Saturday before the loss yesterday. The Brewers rallying from 7 runs down in 2 innings on Friday night, scoring 9 unanswered runs and beating the Reds 10-8. Yelich had 4 hits, including 2 homers in that game, said, quote, it's just a special win, had 5 RBIs to go with his 4 hits.
Yeah.
Yelich told Pat Murphy they would win despite their being down 8-1 after 2 innings. He played with a bat that honored Bob Uecker.
Yes.
The Brewers, obviously, former announcer, died back in January at the age of 90. They then would go on and beat them on Saturday night in 11 innings, 6-5. And then they lost yesterday in the 10th, another extra innings game between the Reds and the Brew Crew. 3-2, the final score.
Baseball. Just
14-game winning streak over. But hey, George Webb, free burgers coming up on Wednesday.
Happening.
Brew Crew in Chicago today for a day-night doubleheader against the Cubs. First pitch at 1:20 for Game 1, 7:05 for Game 2. And speaking of the George Webb,
what about it?
Giveaway, the free burger promotion. In a piece by veteran Chicago Tribune writer Paul Sullivan that was published yesterday, Craig Counsell, former Brewer manager that now, of course, is the head coach for the Cubs, denied knowing anything about George Webb restaurants.
Like I've never heard of them?
Yeah, denied knowing anything about George Webb restaurants in this piece that was published yesterday in the Sunday Chicago Tribune. Obviously, this is the Wisconsin burger chain known for giving away the free burgers when the Brewers win 12 consecutive games. Counsell not only coached for the Brewers, but also grew up in the suburbs of Milwaukee.
I was just going to say, you could argue that maybe if you didn't live there, I may not have been...
I never heard of him until I moved here.
Right. But I think there's 21 locations
23.
in the Milwaukee. 20, okay, yeah. So how do you...
Well, of course, Brewers fans right away knew this guy was lying his liar pants on fire, right? Reporter David Go from WLUK-TV in Green Bay confirming the lie, unearthing a 2018 article from Adam McCalvey of MLB.com where Craig Counsell praised the promotion from George Webb, saying, quote, I remember the concept of free hamburgers going back so long, it's hard to believe that it's never happened since then. Craig Counsell said that in 2018 as Milwaukee, of course, ripped off 12 straight regular season and playoff wins on the route to a NLCS, National Championship Series. So, yeah, dude, you were here. And you're telling me now all of a sudden because you're the Cubs manager that you don't remember George Webb? Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that, you liar, panties on fire. Busted. Big liar, big fat liar.
Yeah, like I said, you could maybe be unaware of it, but if you're that embedded with the Brewers organization that you're running it, how do you not know? And you grew up there, and there are restaurants all over.
We went to the Vikings-Patriots game on Saturday, which the Pats ended up winning. Packers also won on Saturday, beating the Colts 23-19 in their second preseason game.
Go, Pat, go!
And the NFL preseason week 2 wraps up tonight with the Bengals at the Commanders, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Yes, Monday Night Football as they get ready for the season, the regular season. Got to shake off the rust a little bit. Make sure everybody knows what they're doing on Monday nights.
So did you get to see players play, or was it like the second string? Or
well, the players that I cared about, Drake May, the quarterback for the Patriots, he played, I think, 2 series, and that was it, and they scored a touchdown, and that was good enough. And then they put in Josh Dobbs, the Pastronaut. He played for a significant amount of time, and then in the second half, they put in whoever the third stringer is. I don't even know who it is. But, I mean, whatever. It was... Look, the Pats, they looked okay. The Vikings didn't look so good, and they made it a game towards the end there. They got a couple of field goals and got within, I think, 8 points, and they looked like they might have scored a touchdown on the last play of the game, but they checked it out, and the guy was the guy was not in the end zone, and so the game came to an end. But
good place to watch a game, the Bank? I've never been there for a football game. I've only been there for concerts.
Yeah, I mean, the seats are small. But their seats
instead of Lambeau, I bet.
Their seats instead of instead of the benches.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not like you have a seat as opposed to a space that may be this big or that, depending on how early you get there. So that was nice. And then they've got the drink holder in the front on the seat in front of you. Food wise, we didn't really eat much. We knew it was going to be expensive, so we wanted to hold off. The only suggestion I would say is there's a egg sandwich place. I don't even know what the hell it's called. But so my wife wanted to get nachos, so she got a bowl of nachos at like one of the nacho stands, and it's kind of lackluster. They obviously make them in advance so they can ship them out, and the lines are long and all that stuff. And there wasn't a lot of stuff in there, and it was $18, and you're like, you just paid $18 for $2 worth of nachos. So then we were going around the corner, and I saw this egg sandwich place. And it's like an Asian fusion type thing. And so they make these like sandwiches with toasted bread. And then there's like scrambled eggs in there. And then you can get either bacon or Spam or like all different toppings and stuff like that. And it comes in like a little cardboard box. And so my wife wanted to get the Spam one. And so we went with Spam instead of bacon, which was a cardinal rule, always go with the bacon. But for her sake, I got the Spam one. And it was good. It was delicious. It had cheese and everything.
Yeah, it was actually good food for a stadium thing.
It was really good. And then I saw the bacon one come out when somebody else ordered. I'm like, son of a bitch. I knew I should have got that one.
But that wasn't too cheap.
Oh, it was expensive, too. Everything's expensive, yeah. Nothing's cheap. I mean, the beers are $15, so it's, what do you do? But no, it was good. It was a good time. It's a good time. What do we got? We got some Chevelle coming up in just a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Chevelle, Rabbit Hole, Rock Mornings, Brian and Gene, thunderstorms, showers, all that stuff seems to be over for now. Maybe a stray one or two here and there, but 87 today. Going to be humid, kind of misty and steamy out there, but then 80 tomorrow and pretty mild the rest of the week. Looks like high temps right around 80 degrees the rest of this week.
Saw that. Looks like in the 70s possibly even by the weekend, but this humid 93, 100% humidity over the week. I mean, it feels like the South. Get out of here.
Yeah. Tonight on television, NFL preseason football. Week 2 wraps up at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Washington Commanders hosting the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football. Over on ABC tonight, a new episode of Bachelor in Paradise. On NBC, a new episode of American Ninja Warrior. New episode of The Quiz with Balls on Fox tonight. And the series premiere of Are You My First? Tonight at 9 o'clock on ABC and also on Hulu, a dating experiment where a group of sexy single virgins are sent to a tropical paradise for romantic dates and revealing challenges to see if they'll give up that V card.
21 people have come to paradise looking for love. And everyone here is a virgin.
I want to have sex. Sign me up.
Let's go!
have intimacy issues. Nobody believes I'm a virgin.
My faith is why I'm waiting.
Sex is scary because penises are scary looking.
My name is Colton Underwood.
And I'm Caitlin Bristow.
The usual rules of dating don't apply on Are You My First?
Feel free to look at my butt while I walk away.
There's going to be sexy challenges.
What is all this stuff?
New arrivals.
There's a new guy coming in right now.
The body's phenomenal.
Romantic dates.
This is breathtaking.
Keep your eyes peeled for the V cards.
I'm dying to win a V card. I want to go on a date.
I've never been on a date in my life.
Bunch of virgins on a tropical paradise island. The show is called Are You My First, and it premieres today, or tonight, I should say, on ABC.
Funny. Penises are scary.
Virgins. All of the late night shows are repeats tonight, except for Kimmel. He's not hosting. He takes the summers off. Tiffany Haddish will be the guest host on Kimmel tonight. She's going to be talking to Michelle Williams, Jason Isaacs, and John Batiste. That's what's on the boob tube. We didn't watch much TV. Watched a bunch of sports, obviously. We saw the Vikings-Patriots game, and then while we were traipsing through Minneapolis, going to different breweries here and there, we were watching the Brewer game on my wife's phone, and I was watching the Red Sox game on my phone. Then yesterday, same thing, watching some Brewers baseball and some Red Sox baseball. What did you do this weekend? Did you get more stuff done for your daughter, or
yes. What? Went shopping yesterday.
All right, what did we pick up yesterday? What was the big item?
There was no big items. There
Carpet,
was a lot of
chair,
little items.
lamp,
none of that's, no. We're pretty good about all that stuff. It was more like socks and that kind of stuff. Some...
All right.
Just, regular items. I think that was pretty much it. Some more, we got a thermometer in case you get sick and run a fever. Got to know what your temperature is. We got that yesterday. But
okay. Did you get the forehead scanner one? Did you get the under the tongue?
Got the real one.
All right.
A lot of stuff like that, basically. 3 different stores, 4 different stores, a bunch of supplies and things like that. So, yeah. And then what else did I do this weekend? Fixed a car. I hear you're talking about your car. Put a new battery in one of the cars that didn't work.
You did it, or what?
Well,
tell
me and my
happened.
husband. We
got
that jumped and then went and drove it to a place where we could buy a stupid dumb new battery and put it in the stupid dumb car. Took care of that kind of stuff. Well, it's running now, so that's good. Grown up stuff.
Yeah, we're traveling to New England in October with my truck, because we got to tow back some stuff that got left behind at my parents' house when they died. The riding lawnmower, which I'm very excited about, and then the snow thrower, which I haven't had enough snow to really need one over the last couple of years, but it would be nice to have it in the garage just in case. Anyway, so yeah, we got to go pick those up and trailer them back. So I needed to bring my truck in to get it looked at, and it's got about $2,000 worth of work it needs done.
I think that's the figure that always happens, isn't it? It's
anytime you fix a vehicle in this day and age, it's going to be $1,000. Yeah. I mean, batteries and windshield wipers, all those
excluded. Sure.
But anytime you're doing something along those lines, it's I think it was a throttle body needed to be replaced, some sort of pump, filter pump thing, and then but hopefully, knock on wood, we'll be okay and make it all the way out and make it all the way back in one piece, and we'll be good to go. So, yeah.
Did you stop at the apple orchard yesterday?
No, we were going to go, but we didn't. So we got up late on Sunday. We didn't get out of the hotel till after almost 9 o'clock, and then we stopped at Trader Joe's on the way home in Rochester. Wife wanted to stop there and get some stuff, and so we didn't get back to the house until afternoon, and then had to go pick up the dogs. We didn't even shower. We just got up and packed and left the hotel. So I was like, when we got back with the dogs, I said, look, by the time I shower and you shower and we get ready and we get out there, it's going to be like 3, and I'm not going to want to be there very long. I'm going to want to turn around and come home. So let's just, it'll still be there next weekend if we want to go or whatever, but yeah.
The beer service opened up for the first time? Is that what it is?
So Ecker's out there by Galesville, Trempealeau area, they've got an outdoor beer garden and a really cool stage, outdoor music stage. It was their opening weekend because it was the first weekend you can go and get apples from the orchard. And they actually have a new slushy bar this year, which I wouldn't care all that much about because I don't drink slushies, but apparently it was a hit. A lot of people liked it, especially
it was 80 degrees and 90
degree weather.
Yeah.
Ice cold mixed
100% humidity. Again today, by the way. Very hot and humid today. Again, keep that air on.
We'll get to some Chili Peppers a bit later on. Bad news, happy music. The friggin' sports. Got a text from someone who said, morning, Brian and Gene saw Royal Bliss in Fountain, Minnesota.
I saw a bunch of people
Time
there.
of my life. everyone who didn't go, they missed out. So, yeah, they played at Beaver Bottom Saloon, which is in Fountain, Minnesota, I believe. And then they were also at the Northwoods Rock Rally over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people that went to that, and that looked like super, super fun.
Didn't catch either of those shows, but I saw a lot of my friends that were there. So I'm glad you had a good time. Thanks for the text. Right now it's Slipknot.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Chili Peppers, Other Side, Rock Mornings, Brian and Gene.
Raining again, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, so much for it not raining anymore. Apparently it's not done yet.
Yes, isolated throughout the area. Should be short-lived, should end later on this morning, then just be really hot and really humid for the rest of the day. It looks like by the end of the week, though, we're talking about really nice temperatures and a lot less humidity.
Yeah, going to be right around 80 pretty much the rest of this week. Today a little bit warmer, up near 90, but rainy and cloudy and kind of gloomy. Mm-hmm. Some showers and thunderstorms possible this morning, and then cloudy tomorrow and Wednesday before getting real sunny on Thursday, but only about 81 again for a high. So, yeah, not too bad. Looking forward to it. You heard about Grandma Noreen?
Maybe.
Grandma Noreen, over the past 24 years, took all 16 of her grandkids on one-on-one trips. So not a whole family, but me and Paul. Me and Steve. Me and Jessica.
Yep, me and Amy
Susie
are going somewhere.
Right. 2024, the adults surprised Grandma Noreen with her own trip to Hawaii, her first visit to the islands. Her oldest grandchild, Brittany, sharing the experience all over TikTok, where viewers found a lot of happiness, obviously watching the story of the family.
Thank you for your love, your courage, and your endless curiosity, for being our biggest fan, our favorite travel buddy, and the queen of making memories. We love you, Grandma Noreen.
To be able to give our grandma a trip that was solely planned by us is really, really special because she worked so hard.
What makes me the happiest has to be my family.
Oh,
well,
man.
Obviously it is.
So Grandma Noreen wanted to go and do a lot of stuff in retirement with her husband, but he passed away in 1996,
man.
leaving her at a loss. 4 years later, though, Grandma Noreen asking the parents of her oldest grandchild, just out of middle school, to take the kid with her on a trip. And from there, a new tradition with the family born as Grandma Noreen.
Oh, my gosh.
Would then take all 16 of her grandkids, just as they were coming out of middle school, on one-on-one trips to all sorts of different places. It was always their choice, with maybe a tiny bit of help from Grandma.
Yeah, like, nope, we're not going there.
And it took 24 years to do 16 grandchildren, and I finished last year. Brittany, the oldest grandchild, who's now almost 40, chose New York for her trip back in 2000. Other kids opting for West Coast destinations like San Francisco, Seattle, and San Diego. Even a couple of Midwest road trips, leaving their home state of Illinois to go through Iowa, Nebraska, and Michigan. Noreen says, I don't know where it came from, to be honest. I enjoyed every trip, every single trip, and I did not lose a grandchild, which is...
I brought them all back. I took them, and then I came back with them. So that's impressive.
Last year, 2024, Grandma Noreen taking her youngest grandchild to San Diego, marking an end of the tradition. But it got the kids, of course, thinking, what can we do to pay it back for Grandma Noreen?
Well, yeah, after 16 years, what's her trip going to look like next?
Apparently, they all knew that she wanted to go to Hawaii at some point, but never had the opportunity to do so. Katie, one of the grandkids, said, I hate to hear my grandma say she's never done something and she wants to do something. So then the wheels started turning, and I talked to my cousins and my parents, and I was like, what if we took Grandma? Do you think we could make it happen? So the grandkids all split up the duties to make the dream a reality. And on Christmas Day of last year, they presented Noreen with a Hawaiian lei and a card explaining that their trip was taking place, and it just happened a couple of weeks ago. Grandma Noreen going to Hawaii.
That is so great. Obviously, her family's everything. That she found some solace and a way to look forward to things and to plan ahead after the loss of her husband.
Yeah.
Through her grandkids.
Yeah. Grandma Noreen. Good story about her on people.com if you want to read more about that. And we've heard stories about lost wallets and rings and necklaces and watches and all sorts of other things that get found years later. This one's kind of unique.
At the bottom of a lake or something?
No, a mechanic in Minnesota working on a 2015 Ford SUV, so a vehicle that's a decade old. And he's in Minnesota, and he's working on his car, and he ended up finding a wallet that was left in the car by an assembly line worker 11 years ago when the vehicle was made. So the guy's working on the assembly line.
No way.
Making the Ford F-150, the SUV or whatever it is, and like his wallet pops out,
it's in there somewhere.
And it's in the car somewhere, and they're 11 years later, and it's still got the $15 in cash,
his driver's license, and his credit
cards that he had in there.
So my guess it was sitting up in here somewhere, just sitting there for the right move. That little hole right here, that's where the wallet was sitting on top of that hole.
Is this your wallet? First thing I said was, did you find it in a car? He's like, yes, I did. I would have never figured in a million years that it would still be there.
Guy working on a 2015 Ford Edge, brought into his shop in Minnesota, made a startling discovery under the hood, a wallet that had been lost by a Ford plant worker from Michigan 11 years earlier. Richard Guilford, who is now retired, said he remembers the day he lost his wallet while working on vehicles that had been shipped to the Michigan assembly plant in Wayne after coming off the assembly line in Chicago with some electrical issues. I never wore sweatpants to work, but I did that day, and I had my wallet in my shirt pocket.
Had to pull it out. And
he usually has jeans. No, he usually wears jeans or pants, and he didn't have a pocket for his wallet because he was wearing sweatpants for some reason. And so he put his wallet in his shirt. And so when he bent over to do something, it popped out of his shirt pocket.
And landed in a car and then spent the next 11 years there? Is that what you're telling me?
He said he and his team at the factory where he worked searched for the wallet, but there were 2,000 vehicles on the floor, and they eventually had to give up because you're like, I don't know, I've been in and out of 180 of these things, right? Said the wallet contained his driver's license, his Ford Motor Company ID, $15 in cash, and $250 worth of Cabela's Sporting Goods gift cards that he had intended to use to buy Christmas presents for his kids.
Oh.
Yeah. Chad Volk, the owner of LC Car Care in Crystal Lake, Minnesota, working on the Ford Edge that was brought in to have its cooling fans replaced, said while he was attempting to put an air box back into the place under the hood, it wouldn't fit right. Took it out, and then there it is. Leather wallet. Tracked the guy down all over social media, found him, called him, got him his wallet back. 11 years later.
That is nuts.
Crazy, right?
That is crazy.
Playing the long game.
Just riding around in a car.
Yep.
Under the hood for a decade.
We'll get to Sleep Theory Static from Sleep Theory in just a couple minutes.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
You were just on a plane?
I was.
About a month ago, right?
Sure, yep.
Down south, going south for the summer, where it's even hotter and swassier than it was here?
We went to Florida, where it was even hotter, hotter than it was here.
Did you have a middle seat, aisle seat, window seat? Which seat did you have?
If I have a choice with my family, because we generally sit in the same area, I will try to be in the aisle. If someone will, I don't. That's my preference.
You don't want to see what's going on out there.
I definitely don't care about the window, and some of my family really do. So I'll take that instead of the aisle. I don't like being trapped in the middle if I can help it. So yes, I pick the aisle always if I can.
Are you afraid you're going to see a colonial woman on the wing of the plane?
It's not,
a woman wearing colonial clothing?
I don't mind looking out once in a while, especially if you're getting closer to landing and you can make out things versus just a cool, sun through the clouds kind of thing. But I don't need to be by the window. It's okay. I'd rather
in the middle.
The aisle is my jam though. I can move my legs around. If I have to get up and go to the bathroom, I'm not disturbing anybody.
Okay.
I'm right by the cart person to get the snacks and the beverage.
All right.
I'm definitely an aisle
sitter?
Yeah, I'm an aisle sitter if I can be.
When I used to fly on a somewhat regular basis, I prefer the window. I like to be able to look out. It's kind of, especially this was, years ago when not every flight has in-flight entertainment. Mm-hmm. Cell phones only had so much to offer you in terms of keeping you amused on a flight. So the window was nice. You could just kind of sit there and look out the window, and you'd see the clouds in the sky. And again, if you're coming, into the town or whatever, you see
a sunrise or a sunset, something neat. The lights, like you're saying, you see it. The water when you look, oh my gosh, there's the ocean.
While a law firm in California says Delta and United Airlines could face federal class action lawsuits over allegations that they sold window seats to people without a window. Sometimes the window isn't lined up with the row. We know about this one, right? That's obvious because airlines squeeze the space between rows as much as possible. So it's sort of in between. Mm-hmm. It's sort of this weird tweener thing where maybe at first when they designed the plane, they're like, oh, we'll put the window here and the seat will be there and everybody that's on the window seat will get a window. And then they're like, well, we're giving up too much space. Let's move the seats closer. We could stick an extra row in and make even more money.
So it's not really an upcharge for a window because it's not really a window.
But there are other times when there's no window at all. For example, some Boeing 737 aircrafts have a row on the left side ahead of the wing where vertical air conditioning ducts run behind the wall panels, so there's no window whatsoever. The window's gone. Of course, airlines sometimes use aisle and window generally to describe where the seat is positioned, but this could be a problem because many airlines charge extra for the window seat. And so, if someone is paying for an actual window view, and there isn't one, they could potentially join this lawsuit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. If you look out your left side windows, we're flying over the beautiful Golden Gate Bridge.
Unless you don't have a window.
That's right, Carl. And for those of you on the right side of the aircraft, you can see historic downtown San Francisco.
Unless your only view is a dark gray panel.
Yes, some of you have what we call a false window.
Dave, is that a UFO? Psych.
Good one, Carl. Well, folks, sit back and enjoy your beautiful flight to Seattle.
Hey, is that the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, Chewbacca's at the controls.
Couple of things in regards to this potential lawsuit from a law firm in California against Delta and United Airlines. They singled out Delta and American because others like American do alert customers that some seats have, quote, no window view, which shows up on the seat booking page in their app. Some customers think it's a perk to have a wall seat without a window because it's easier and more comfortable to nap against the side, right? You put your head up there. No comments from the airlines. Possible this could lead to them removing the surcharges for seats with no window, but unlikely, obviously, because they're not about losing money. They're about making money. So we'll see. If you've ever been paying extra for a window seat and didn't get an actual window, then you might want to look into that.
Mm-hmm. We don't usually pay to... You can pay to pick your seat.
Right.
Yeah, and we don't usually...
Give me what you got.
Yeah, we'll take whatever you got. Usually row like 31 or 32 way in the back.
Yeah. Zombified from Falling in Reverse in a couple of minutes. Right now, it is Static from Sleep Theory.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
Falling in Reverse on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. The Brew Crew. Hell of a weekend. Couple of ups and then one down.
First pitch is by third. Reds win.
The Brewers' 14-game winning streak comes to a close.
Austin Hayes, a walk-off RBI single. They'll have to score it. The Reds score in the 9th to tie it and score in the 10th to win it 3-2.
Yeah. Brewers had some chances there in the extra innings, but kind of blew it and snapped their 14-game winning streak. They get a chance to start another winning streak today in Chicago, too, against the Cubbies. Day-night doubleheader. They got 5 games against the Cubs this week. First pitch for today's afternoon game is at 1:20, then 7:05 for the second game. Packers over the Colts on Saturday, 23-19 in their second preseason game. And the NFL preseason week 2 will wrap up tonight with the Bengals at the Commanders, 7 o'clock on ESPN.
I don't know. The Brewer run was super, super fun, though. Everybody was talking about the Brewers. Yeah. It was so much fun to watch, and best streak since '87, or just it was a gas.
Free agent forward Amir Coffey agreeing to a 1-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. He spent his first 6 NBA seasons with the Clippers, averaging a career-high 9.7 points per game last year on 47.1% shooting from the field. Bucks and preseason work going to be getting underway soon. NCAA releasing Michigan's list of punishments for the ongoing Connor Stalions sign-stealing saga, illegally recording opponent signals. Michigan receives a significant fine, expected to be more than $20 million from loss of postseason football revenue for the next 2 seasons. The head coach, Sharon Moore, is given an additional game suspension expected to take place next season. The school already self-imposed a 2-game ban for this upcoming season, which is slated for weeks 3 and 4. Additionally, there'll be a 10-year show cause penalty for former Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh and an 8-year show cause penalty for Connor Stallions. A show cause will prevent both Harbaugh and Stallions from coaching in college football during that period. But I can't imagine Harbaugh's like itching to get back after he took the job with the Chargers. So, NASCAR Cup Series playoff field now set with just one race remaining in the regular season. Austin Dillon becomes the 14th driver to clinch a berth in the playoffs, earning a measure of redemption with his win under the lights at Richmond over the weekend. Dillon, along with 14 other drivers, have earned wins this season, leaving just 2 spots left in the 16-driver playoff field. The series now heading to Daytona International Speedway for the regular season finale. And 5 former Wisconsin women's basketball players have filed a lawsuit saying they received psychological abuse from the former Badgers head coach Marissa Mosley, and that the university responded with a policy of laissez-faire in action.
So they didn't care.
Essentially, that's what they're saying in their lawsuit. Mosley announced in March she was going to resign for personal reasons. And here we are all these months later, where 5 former Wisconsin women's basketball players say in their complaint that Mosley unconstitutionally toyed with the mental health of her players, including plaintiffs, as a means of exerting control over every facet of their lives, including retaliating against them based on their protected speech and expressive acts, and discriminating against them based on their disabilities or perceived disabilities. They say Mosley intruded on players' privacy in one-on-one meetings by pressuring them to divulge everything from issues with their parents or romantic partners to their confidential mental health symptoms and treatment choices.
That sounds like TMI, man.
Well, I mean,
I know that they need to be aware of their
Don't you need to like kind of talk to them and have in-depth conversations and make sure they're on the same page? And are you okay? And
yes, if they want to, but coercing them to do it is a different situation.
So they've 5 former players have brought a lawsuit against her, and see where that ends up. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Dorothy on the way. If you need something, you can find us online at rockmornings.com, or you can download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app. They are both free, and you can send us voicemails, pictures, videos right there through the app. Let us know what you're up to, what you're doing.
How you're dodging the rain maybe this morning?
Yeah. Might be. We'll get to that Dorothy next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
9 Inch Nails, As Alive as You Need Me to Be. Latest from them. Bad Poetry Day. National Couples Day. National Fajita Day. Gonna have fajitas for dinner, I think. Crock-pot chicken fajitas. Let's throw it all in there. And
worry about it later?
Yep. Also, Ice Cream Pie Day. National Ice Cream Pie. Get yourself a cookie.
Like a birthday cake?
Like a cookie puss.
From DQ?
From Carvel. And it's also Pinot Noir Day.
Light red. Go good with your fajitas.
Pinot Noir. Sweet berry wine. So yeah, a couple of days. Bad Poetry Day. Couples Day. Fajita Day. Ice Cream Pie Day. Pinot Noir Day. New study looking at how much people scroll on their phones and then converting that distance of scrolling.
Oh my gosh.
Through the feed into miles. Somehow.
Yeah.
Some sort of
right.
weird.
How much this is.
Well, actually, if you're going like this, right? Whatever app or website or. According to this website that put the data together.
How many miles are my fingers walking?
The state that scrolls the farthest is Arizona. People there scroll 115.4 miles per year. So if you if you're on your phone for 20 minutes and you're scrolling and scrolling, you take those 3.5, 4 inches, whatever the length of your phone is, and you multiply that all out, 115 miles per year, people in Arizona scrolling, which is roughly the distance between Phoenix and Tucson. Also the equivalent of almost 9 hours of screen time per day.
Oof.
Washington, the state, coming in second at 108.2 miles, followed by Kentucky at 105, Missouri at 102, and New Mexico at 96. Texas, Maryland, Louisiana, South Carolina, Georgia round out the top 10. They didn't list the states that travel the fewest miles while scrolling, but according to one of their data sources, it looks like the bottom 5 would be Kansas, Maine, Nebraska, Minnesota, and Massachusetts. No idea where Wisconsin is on the list. They don't do all of the states. They only did the
top and the bottom.
Yeah. Overall, the average American spending 6 hours, 35 minutes per day on your screen, which adds up to 2,403 hours annually. People check their devices an average of 58 times a day.
That feels like too much when you say it like that. That feels like too much.
It is too much. States that scroll the farthest distances on their phones, according to a website. Again, Arizona, Washington State, Kentucky, Missouri, and New Mexico. They say that Arizona tops the list with the highest average daily screen time in the country, an eye-opening 8 hours and 50 minutes per day per person.
I'm wondering if is this all outside of work then? Like if you're looking
Probably
at your screen, I mean, it's not my phone, but it's a screen that I'm looking at for work, or sometimes I'm answering emails or things on my actual phone, taking a message. Does that count, or is it 8 hours of just?
I think it's mostly phone. I think it's just phone as opposed to, because that's in addition to the computer time, right?
That's a lot. Now, are you streaming on there too?
They say that wasted productivity costing the global economy an estimated $8.8 trillion each year.
Outside of work.
Major culprit behind the figure is excessive phone use. So if you're focused on work and you're working and the phone's off or not around, then yeah, you're getting stuff done. But if the phone's there and you're checking it, messages, voicemails, social medias, snapping images, recipes, apps, playing games, crushing candy, whatever it is you're doing.
That being a distraction at work, I guess I could. Because I've read such interesting articles about college students where if they literally don't have the phone in the same room or off or whatever from, studying and taking tests and those kinds of things, the improvement in their actual grade level is astounding. By simply removing it during studying to where they're not
right,
to where it isn't even that they're getting interrupted, it's the thought that they could be getting interrupted.
Well,
and if they take that thought away,
even when it's off and it's over here, you're like, is it doing something?
The prevalence of their academic improvement is ridiculous, apparently. So if that translates into your workday and the same kind of thing, whether they're actually looking at it or not, the thought that it's just there.
Practical steps that you can take to reclaim your lost time from your devices. Set specific time limits using techniques like the Pomodoro method. The example there is 25 minutes of work and then 5 minutes break so that you are rewarding yourself. With the phone, you're not completely taking it away. You're just saying, okay, I'm going to do 25 minutes worth of work, and then I'm going to take 5 minutes for the phone, and then back to work, and then so every hour I get 10 minutes. Schedule regular breaks using techniques. I already did that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Turn off non-essential notifications to minimize distractions. Right. So if you've got,
that doesn't really distract me all that much. But
if you've got a million
things that are popping up,
right.
Yeah.
Designate screen-free zones or times, especially during meals and before bed. Use website blockers or focus apps to limit access to distracting sites during work hours. Replace some screen time with offline activities such as reading, exercising, hobbies, playing the guitar. Keep your phone out of reach or in another room while working on important tasks, which is what you just referenced with your kids going to college. Yes. Tough one there, tough one.
Very tough, but it's unbelievable, staggering if you read some of the
Prioritize tasks with a to-do list to stay focused and reduce mindless scrolling. Use grayscale mode on your phone. Make it less visually appealing. Right? Not as bright, not as colorful.
See that.
Yeah. Well, you give a kid a Nokia, and it's like, yeah, this is cool. It's a phone, but why? Where's the colors? Where's the vibrancy? Where's all the life? And practice mindful use by checking your screen only when necessary, not out of habit. Some tips for putting that phone down and reducing some screen time.
I'm working on it.
It's tough, man.
I'm working on it.
Well,
I'm trying not to use it before I go to bed because everything we've ever talked about on this program is that is, it's hard to go to sleep when you've done that. And you don't think so, but it's been proven over and over again that if you're on that and you're doing looking at social media before you go to sleep, it's harder to fall asleep. So I've tried to eliminate that completely and not look at it first thing when you wake up in the morning, but it's almost impossible.
AC/DC now, you shook me all night long. Bad news, happy music coming up, the friggin' sports as well. Don't go anywhere.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Hello, I am your Volkswagen Artificial Intelligence Assistant. Would you like to go faster than 37 miles per hour? Please swipe your credit card on the dash screen. Want to listen to the radio? That will be another small charge. Alert, your air conditioning is running low. Please pay now to stay cool and comfortable. Don't forget about the seatbelt fee. Welcome to the future of nickel and diming.
This is a real thing, FYI, that's apparently in the pipes.
What is this?
Volkswagen debuting a new subscription plan for their electric cars, making people pay extra to unlock the full amount of horsepower.
So you buy the car and you get some, but you don't get all?
Basically. It's only happening in the UK for now. Obviously, they're testing this. I don't think it's going to last or work. No word on if they might try to do it in the U.S. or other countries, but here's basically how it works.
Okay.
Their Volkswagen ID3 electric car has 228 horsepower. But if you don't pay the fee, the subscription fee, which is just about $20 a month, you only get access to 201 of those horsepowers. They're framing it as giving people options. So if you drive like a grandma, you might only want the 200 horsepower. But if you need more zip in your car, you can pay for it. This is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. What are we doing?
Well, this is a lot of things where it's starting to be like that, where you can get
they're
some,
trying to figure out a way to
extras.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to get
of course. They claim it's nothing new, saying historically many gas and diesel vehicles have been offered with engines of the same size, but with the possibility of choosing one with more potency. But yeah, you're buying that. You're not renting it. You're not. The car comes with that possibility. I don't have to buy that from you or subscribe to it. Not the first company, by the way, car company, to try to gouge their customers in this way. A couple of years ago, BMW, go figure, tried to charge folks in the UK to use their heated seats. So you buy the car, the heated seats come as an option, but then you can't use them unless you pay the monthly subscription fee. They ended up nixing that idea after it got too many complaints. Go effing figure. Why would you sell me the car where it already costs more money to get the heated seats because it's an option as opposed to a standard, and then you're going to charge me on top of that just to use them? $5 a pop? Are you kidding me? Whatever it is.
Now, if you're not charging me for them, and then there's a rental fee that I can just pay November through January, I don't need the heated seat feature in July. So I would be willing to not pay more for it. I don't know, man. We were cruising home, and I turned those heated seats on yesterday. We had the AC cranking. I put it on. My back felt real nice.
Volkswagen drivers in the UK who want the extra zip will have to pay $22 a month for the privilege or a yearly fee of about $225. Also, the option of paying a one-time fee of $880. Volkswagen says the option keeps it unlocked even if you sell the car. This sounds like the most stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. This is why I could never consider going to electric. I could never do it. Give me gas, give me power, give me speed. I want it all.
Well, don't charge me twice. You're charging twice. If you're not charging the first time and then there's a fee and then I find that I don't use it or I do use it or I want the option but not to pay and then to pay twice?
No.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah. God, I hate this computer so much. I hate it. I can't stand it. We got to get rid of this piece of crap. It's just so bad. It is so bad, Gene. We got to get rid of this thing. I got to get the engineer in here today to fix this. I cannot wait for these things to load 20 seconds before I can read a friggin' text message.
What do they have to say?
Finally, now that it's loaded, I can read the text message. Somebody said it's like Tesla and paying for the self-driving mode. I know nothing about what Tesla does, but apparently you don't get the self-driving mode unless you pay for it, pay extra for it.
Well, yeah, if they're charging you for something you've already paid for, then You're paying twice.
Doc texted in and said, I only started watching football because Taylor Swift said it was okay. Nikki Glazer. I think that was Nikki Glazer at the Tom Brady roast. I think that's where she said that.
Oh, speaking of Tom Brady, reminds me because he did a Morgan Wallen walkout. I looked. That was Cleveland where he brought Kid Rock out. This
was it
past
Cleveland?
weekend.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I thought it was Detroit because that's where
he'd make the most amount of sense. But
Kid Rock says he's from. So.
It was in Cleveland.
Rob texted in and said, if Taylor Swift is performing at the Super Bowl, I'm throwing the TV out the window, especially if the Chiefs end up there in the same year.
Okay.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. See how it works out for you. Can you imagine? I mean, I know you're not going to really do that, but just like you're mad about Taylor Swift being at the Super Bowl, so you're going to throw your television out the window? That's dumb. Real dumb.
Well, I get how the Chiefs, aren't they sick of that? Aren't they going to the Super Bowl? So
well, yeah, look, there's some fatigue there. It happened when the Patriots were going every couple of years, and yeah, I get it. Also, you can download the free 95.7 The Rock app or the free 92.9 The X app and get in touch with us with voicemails, pictures, and videos. We got a voicemail this morning from somebody. We were talking about scrolling on your cell phone and how many hours a day we spend doing that.
Yeah, like a lot, like 8. Too many, probably. Which is different than being at work on the computer, which was the question I asked to you. Are you talking about screens or scrolling on a phone? And it really was scrolling on a phone.
I wish we could go back to the 90s when phones weren't around and back to where everything was just more simple, not as rough as it was today.
Thanks for the message.
It's a sentiment that people have.
The 90s had its ups and downs, too.
Yes.
We'll get to the friggin' sports after Lincoln Park.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
Lincoln Park up from the bottom on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. The friggin' sports brought to you by Taylor Swift at the halftime show. Will it? Won't it? Possibly. There's been rumors for a long time. Not just because she's been dating Travis Kelce, but it certainly doesn't hurt. The power couple, right? Podcast breaking the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And people are thinking that she's been dropping hints. Latest talk of sourdough apparently has fans making connections to a potential Super Bowl halftime show performance. The fan theories involve San Francisco 49ers mascot Sourdough Sam, the number 60, and a specific date on the pop star's Eras Tour. Recent halftime show performers, including Kendrick Lamar, Usher, Rihanna, Dr. Dre, The Weeknd, Taylor Swift, could be next. Announcing her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl.
Yes.
And discussed her new obsession of baking sourdough bread with her boyfriend on the podcast, New Heights. Swiftie starting to wonder if her latest hobby revealed a little bit more meaning behind it, right? Because she tends to do things with intention.
Yes, lots of Easter eggs. That's her jam.
That she likes that, hiding little nuggets of information.
For years, like years later, she's come back and reference something.
During the podcast appearance, Taylor Swift revealed that sourdough has, quote, taken over my life in a huge way. Admitted to thinking about bread, quote, 60% of the time now.
Right.
It's a very specific
percentage of time now. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you're saying it's taken over your life in a huge way, 60% is not that big, right? Over half of my time is spent
thinking about. Well, if that's a lot, if you're thinking about bread,
but
it's noteworthy.
I'm just like always baking bread and texting my friends and being like, "Can I send you some bread? I need some feedback. Do you like this one better than you like the other one? Like I did the rise a little differently." Viewers have since pointed out the Super Bowl, which is 60, taking place at the San Francisco 49ers Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The team's mascot is none other than Sourdough Sam, a gold miner who shares a name with Swift's favorite new treat.
Mm-hmm.
As for the significance of the 60%, fans have suggested it could be a nod to Super Bowl 60 itself. At the beginning of Taylor Swift's New Heights appearance, for more numerology,
mm-hmm. There's more.
Which premiered on Wednesday, August 13th, the singer also thanked Jason, 37, for, quote, screaming for like 47 seconds. Swifties have since pondered that the number 47 could be a connection to Swift's 47th Eras Tour stop, which takes place at Levi Stadium.
Right, which is the same stadium. I don't know. She has so many Easter eggs, and you can find some things, and then it doesn't happen. But then other things, you're like, man, that was how did she intertwine all that 5 years ago for something that was going to be released now? So I wouldn't, I don't ever doubt those, but we'll see. I just don't. I don't.
She doesn't need it. You know what I mean? Like,
well, nobody of that caliber that ever plays there really needs it.
It seems like if you're going to do it now. It makes sense, right? The whole relationship thing. You had plenty of time to plan it out.
I don't even know if she ever would.
It would be the most watched Super Bowl halftime show of all time. There's no doubt in my mind.
There's no doubt either.
We'll see. I have almost zero faith in the fact that it'll be Metallica. I mean, I think they're going to play
this. You heard that too.
I think they're going to play the Sphere. I think that's going to happen. I don't think it'll be a residency, but I think they're going to do some shows at the Sphere in Vegas, which should be pretty cool.
That'd be great.
Going to try to go to that if it happens, but I don't see them. I don't know. They are from the Bay Area, San Francisco, so maybe get them to play the national anthem or something like that. We'll see. Friggin' Sports brought to you by Taylor Swift and her potential appearance at the Super Bowl halftime show. We got bad news, happy music coming up next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril.
Now that's just nasty.
Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
A middle school teacher from hashtag Florida is facing charges after he allegedly and apparently got drunk between classes and then crashed his car into a fence in the school's parking lot. Spring Hill, about 40 miles north of Tampa. Campus police officer found the 32-year-old English teacher passed out behind the wheel with the car still in gear. Happened at about 11:45 in the morning on the second day of school.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Day 2, not day 1, day 2.
They thought maybe it was some kind of medical issue at first, but then they saw a bunch of single-serving alcohol bottles in his car next to him.
Little nips, like airplane. He's on that.
Refused to have his blood tested at the hospital, but a cop noted that he reeked of alcohol. The cops posted about it on Facebook. Several people leaving comments saying they were shocked because he's an excellent teacher. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe something in his personal life.
Summer happened. It was a long summer.
Wasn't ready to give it up yet. He was still in summer mode. I don't know what's going on, but hashtag Florida teacher charged with driving under the influence. Also had a DUI back in 2014.
I'm not that intoxicated.
Yes, you are. Day 2.
Second day of school, in between classes, 11:45 in the morning, dude's out there driving around with a bunch of nip bottles in his car. Oops. Only because I don't know how this happens. Does it seem funny to me, but I'm sure it's scary.
What?
Long Beach man, a guy from California, rescued after he got stuck behind a waterfall for 2 days.
Huh?
You know what a waterfall is.
I do,
right?
yeah. But so
this guy's out there hiking.
And he
comes across a waterfall. Somehow gets behind it into the cave or whatever's there, the crevice, the crack, and then can't get out for 2 days. I don't understand exactly how that happens.
Why you just don't go through the water? Why couldn't
Or go back the way you came? I'm not sure, but this guy got stuck back there for 2 days.
He didn't have a wetsuit. He didn't have a dry suit. So being stranded in a waterfall for 3 days up in the mountains where our evening temperatures get low, our water temperatures are always low, his ability to survive was rather amazing.
They call it a stunning survival story. His rescue caught on camera. The Tulane County Sheriff's Office said that 46-year-old Ryan Wardell began his trek to the popular hiking destination Seven Teacups sometime on Sunday, planning to rappel the waterfalls.
Okay. Well,
never made it back to his car that night or in the 2 days that follow. Alerted of his disappearance, the officers began an extensive search for this guy who was last seen at the top of the Seven Teacups waterfalls. Aircraft equipped with a camera and infrared technology used to identify his possible location, but due to the late hours and what was described as technical difficulty, crews returning to the base instead of working on a new rescue plan and decided to go back out the following morning. Specialized swift water dive and search rescue teams went to the waterfalls.
Jeez, these are some waterfalls.
The search for this guy, yeah. Crews are combing the area. They deployed a drone to check behind a large waterfall, and that's where they found this dude. Using a hoist system, they were able to lower a rescue team member into the water feature, secure this guy, and extract him to safety. He was alive and responsive, told deputies that he had come off his rappel lines and got trapped behind the waterfall because of the extreme hydraulics of the river.
Oh, so it's really, you can't go through it. It's just
really
massive,
powerful.
Yeah.
They flew him to a nearby landing zone, evaluated by medical personnel, treated for only minor injuries and dehydration before he was reunited with his family members at the scene, but he got trapped behind a waterfall for 2 days.
I seen a rainbow yesterday, but too many storms have come and gone, leaving a trace of not what God given me. Is it because my life in 10 shades of gray? I pray all 10 fade away, seldom praise it for the sunny day. You claim the insane and name this place in top of fall and pray to crime. I swear the system got you victim to your own mind.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, Gene.
Aspirations in hopes of coming true.
Well, if they wouldn't have found him and he would have died back there.
Oh, chasing water.
Stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to. Again, I mean, if he was back there injured, fell off his...
No, but it was a raging river, and going through it without any rappel equipment or anything on him would have just put him, I guess...
2 days.
Yeah.
Here's another
3
guy.
days.
Here's another guy who got stuck. This guy's in Connecticut. And when I first heard the word slide, I was like, how do you get stuck in a slide? And then I realized it was one of those tube slides.
Like...
Fully enclosed?
Yes.
Meant for a child?
He's stuck in it?
And he got stuck. 40-year-old man in Connecticut got stuck so bad they had to dismantle the slide.
Take that apart?
And there's a great photo of him wedged in. I hope I'm stuck in here. He got wedged in.
There's a drunk stuck in the slide.
I don't know if he was drunk. But this guy got stuck in the slide, and there's a great picture of him trying to get out. This is on a school playground. Vernon, Connecticut. Fire department responding to the Northeast Elementary School for reports of a man trapped in the tube slide. Saturday afternoon, firefighters say he was wedged in the middle portion of the slide. Authorities gave the man oxygen, said he was extremely uncomfortable, especially with the hot temperatures. Ventilation was also set up to help cool the space where the patient was stuck. Took about 30 minutes, but they freed him, and he was evaluated on scene and refused treatment. No further information.
Didn't want to go to the emergency room. I'm embarrassed that I'm stuck. I got folded in half. See, my feet came out this way, and my butt came out that way.
I'm looking at the picture, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 firefighters all standing around, plus the eighth guy who's helping to get him out of the tube, and then there's like 3 EMTs over here
well, he's got some oxygen.
Watching this stupid idiot. Got his ass trapped in a slide, you big dumb idiot.
Well, maybe he was there with his kids and playing or whatever, and they were like, come on down. And he's like, sure. And then he zigged when he should have zagged, I think, is what happened. He's all bent.
Yeah, well, don't go in the slide. It's not for you, you big stupid idiot. A hashtag Florida man in a full jester costume. Court jester, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fool.
So he's dressed up.
Pulled out a dagger and threatened a guy for being too loud while mowing the lawn. Brian Hansen mowing 2 separate lawns in the middle of the afternoon when he was confronted by Anthony Marzola, who lives in a nearby home. Marzola became upset with the sound of the mower, retrieved a 12-inch dagger from a vehicle, began walking towards the victim. Marzola was allegedly pointing the dagger at Hansen, yelling that he cannot be mowing.
So, wait, he's got a blade, and he's in full costume, and he's coming at this guy saying, that's enough of your mowing? It's too much mowing?
Advanced until the victim positioned his stand-on mower to be between him and the defendant.
Yeah.
Defendant was wearing a full jester costume during the incident and arrest. report does not indicate why Marzola was at home wearing a jester outfit in the middle of the afternoon. It seems likely that the getup was related to his operation of the Psychedelic Jester Smoke Shop.
It's part of his gig. It's his job.
Which recently moved from Seminole, Florida to St. Petersburg. So, yeah, that's... Come buy your drugs.
Brand awareness.
Come buy your drugs from the guy in the jester costume. Bro, I think I'm good here, actually. I think I'm going to go over here where the people are normal.
A lot of mowing. Too much mowing.
You
mowed one yard and then you started on another yard. Aren't you ever going to stop with the mower?
Really gets into character when it comes to this jester thing.
Well, he had to be at work at 2 o'clock. He's got to get dressed and...
Have you ever seen I Am a Stalker on Netflix? You ever watched it?
Mm-mm.
The show? It's obviously about stalkers.
I'd rather be considered a murderer than a stalker. You know what I mean?
I wanted the intensity of her feeling watched.
Yo.
Anybody can be a stalker.
It's all boogeyman talk.
Not still that crazy.
Guy in Illinois, featured on a 2022 episode of I Am a Stalker, has now pled guilty, or not guilty, to...
Stalking?
A woman in Illinois, correct. Pled not guilty to 11 counts of stalking, harassing, and violating an order of protection. In a new case that involves the same woman that was featured in the Netflix series. So this guy, they put him on TV, and he just still won't quit. John R. Anderson III
oh my God, terrifying.
was sentenced to 6 years in prison for aggravated stalking back in 2019. The Netflix series included an installment that focused on the case, his relationship with a woman who fled to Illinois to get away from this guy, and his pending release from prison. Now charged in the new case for harassing the same woman, he has pled not guilty to 2 counts of aggravated stalking, 5 counts of stalking, harassment by telephone, 3 counts of violating an order of protection after waiving his right to a preliminary hearing. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Right? Accused of repeatedly surveilling her residence by parking in front of her home and her place of employment, repeatedly calling and texting her, placing cupcakes on her vehicle. Other charges accuse him of emailing the woman, posting an event on her iPhone calendar, sending her a Snapchat request to call him. The woman moved to get away from this guy, right?
Yeah. Well, this show,
Maybe
I
change her
didn't
name.
watch it, so I can't say for sure, but it sounds like it sort of glorifies their actions. I don't know. Makes him a star for being a criminal.
During a July 30th detention hearing in the newest case, the assistant county attorney said Anderson called the woman who was his former girlfriend nonstop, uses an app so the calls appear to be from someone else.
Oh, my God.
Crazy.
Very crazy.
There's one solution to this guy's problem. Can you guess what it is? Speaking of crazy.
Yeah.
I'll get through this one quick. 64-year-old Minnesota woman allegedly said a prayer before shooting her neighbor because she thought the victim was, quote, murdering and raping people and heard her digging graves in the basement. Ava Leon Koch stands accused of second-degree attempted murder, 2 counts of assault with a dangerous weapon. Witnesses told deputies he was playing video games in his home when the victim called his cell, asked him to come outside. When he walked up to the victim's car, the witness said she was... the witness saw that she was slouched under the dashboard. Also noticed several bullet holes in the windshield and the driver's side door. The victim said she pulled her Jeep into the parking lot when someone started shooting at her. Bullet fragments striking her eye and entering her brain. Jeep had been struck by bullets 7 times. Cops learned that the woman, Koch, lived in a nearby apartment. Deputies went to speak with this woman who was allegedly very cooperative, claimed she heard noises from outside but did not go outside to investigate. Cops noted there were 7 holes in the bathroom screen where roughly the same size as bullet holes in the car. Allegedly said the holes were there when she moved into the apartment a year before. Yeah. This gal thought that her neighbor was murdering and raping people and then burying the bodies in the basement and then decided that she was going to shoot at her from her own house.
Yeah, speaking of someone who's got an issue, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Problem. Big problem.
Before the shooting, she allegedly said a prayer along the lines of, quote, guide my bullets like you guided David's rock, and fired 7 times because the number is a reference to the reference in the Bible several times. Cuckoo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need some help.
Big time. Bad news, happy music. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to our daily check-ins after Volbeat.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us.
Check.
We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Got an email from Josh. Said that movie was awesome. Accepted. That was the subject line of his email. And then he added, he ruined a perfectly good email by adding, so was Grandma's Boy. I said, stop trying to convince me that Grandma's Boy was funny. It sucked. And then he sent me an image of Nick Swartzen saying, you're dumb. Yeah. That movie.
Are you guys having a fight back and forth with an email? Is this
No, we're not fighting.
Grandma's Boy?
We're not fighting.
Is hilarious?
It's not. It's stupid. I don't know why people like it. It's such a dumb movie. I consider myself to be somewhat of a connoisseur of film.
Dumb movies?
And if a movie's not funny, I'll tell you.
That one's
up.
not funny?
And that one is not funny. It's not even dumb funny. You know what I mean? Where it's like so bad or so dumb or so stupid that you would find funny, like humor in it. And it's got actors in it that I like. It has nothing to do with, like, you know, some people can't stand Adam Sandler, his shtick, right? Funny, goofy characters.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just can't get into it. I get that. I watched it and it just didn't, it's just stupid. Somebody texted in and said it's like Tesla and paying for the self-driving mode, talking about Volkswagen, trying to charge people for extra horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
You know they're just going to hack it, right? You can just hack it. You can figure it out.
Well, right. You buy it. It has the horsepower, but then in order to get it, you have to pay extra.
Doc texted in, said, I only started watching football because Taylor Swift said it was okay. Nikki Glaser from the roast of Tom Brady. I think that's where she said that. Rob, very upset about Taylor Swift, said, if Taylor Swift is performing at the Super Bowl halftime, I'm throwing the TV out of the window, especially if the Chiefs end up there in the same year.
Well, the Chiefs, everybody's sick of that, I think.
I would pay money to watch you throw your own TV out of your own window.
Let's just relax. If she's on, it's 15 minutes. What is it?
I'll legitimately give you
minutes?
$50 of my money. $50
Go
towards
outside,
the new TV.
throw the football around for a little bit. It'll be fine. It'll be over.
Take a bathroom break. You all right? What's going on with your nose?
I'm very allergy today.
You're doing this weird thing.
Very
man.
allergy today. I don't know if it's the rain.
You know how bulbous it normally is? Like it's like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer bulbous. And it's
very, I don't know if it's the humidity or what, but it's a thing.
Text from someone who said, morning, Brian and Gene, saw Royal Bliss in Fountain, Minnesota, had the time of my life.
Jealous.
To everybody who didn't go, they missed out.
Yeah.
They played a couple of gigs in the Midwest. Thank you very much for getting in touch with us. Appreciate it. Always good to hear from you guys. rockmornings.com for all our contact info. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday. Try to stay dry. We'll talk to you tomorrow.